Hi everyone. This is the first one from April, a new month. So March was tough. Yes, it was tough. BTC is under correction or consolidation, I would say. And but most of the alts have gone through correction. However, now the BTC is improving. Let's see how they look like. So first, starting with 4 hour on BTC, the structure is more or less the same. But there's slight improvement where we saw some bounce here of this low, which is good. So this was a congestion area earlier where the breakout could have happened, but then it retraced. But the retracement, as you could see, hasn't gone deep, which is good. Now it has back to this level. As you could see, this orange line was a support earlier, like here, resistance, resistance, support, resistance, resistance, support, support, then breakdown, and then again resistance. So this looks like this orange line, which is 69,000, which is like a midline where the price is like is as if like winding around, right? So if you can imagine, so it is like moving along this line up and down, right, on an average basis. Now this is sideways consolidation, which is very positive because it accumulates energy. It is not good only if it breaks below this orange box and goes around 50K level, where this is the R6 is the support, I would say, in that case, which is 55K range or 56K range. That kind of a level is the next support. If it breaks below this red line, then I think that's a problem, a big problem. But at this moment, this is not a situation we are here, and I think it's likely to attempt on upside, looking at the current setup. So we'll focus on that. So yeah, um, there is no sign of downside breakdown. There is no breakdown. Yeah, I don't see it at this moment. Okay, so this looks like a very positive consultation. Let's look at 1 day. 1 day, it's not bad. And but structurally, it's more or less the same, where this orange line becomes a key level, both on the support and resistance point of view. Right. So if the price, so we would like to see the price. Maybe I'll change this to green color just for visually distinguish. So if it cyan color, so if it turquoise, so if the price reaches to this level around 73K, then we will have better visibility here. But at this moment, I don't see any weakness though. This is very positive so far. So 1 day is also looking good. Mm, I don't think I have anything to be added, to be honest, because there is no fundamental change in terms of structure. So there is nothing more to add for this week. I don't see any new pattern emerging. I don't see anything. This is like usual consolidation, as I explained earlier. There was a big one, then a smaller one. This is a bigger one in terms of vertical height, but not in terms of time. This was a big one in terms of height and time. This was tiny one. So yeah, I mean, this is continuation pattern, so to speak. Um, More like a flag pattern, right? This is a flag. So yeah, I mean, this is all looks good. Let's look at weekly now. Weekly, the week had this test. This was tested. Like this is again a range. We know that. Maybe the circle can be a little smaller. We don't need a big one, but it's okay. Okay. So this is positive consolidation, definitely. This low is important. This low is important. So if what is this level? 60K. Yeah, I think that's what we mentioned. That consolidation is happening in that range. So 60K range is important immediately. So there is again no change because for last 3-4 weeks, the price is range bound, right? 60K to 74K range. So there is absolutely no change in on a weekly time frame, right? So um, we can move ahead and see what DXY is doing. So DXY tried to break above. Some people jumped um and assume it's broken and all, but it's, see, you have to, when you track on weekly, you have to wait for weekly closing price. There are always going to be spikes like this on the downside, upside, and all that. You have to wait for a week to close. With the week closed on below the warning level, so if it closes above the warning level, then we will see some pressure. I don't see right now. Of course, this is very, very close call, to be honest. The last 3 weeks, and that is one of the reasons why BTC was under pressure, because this level was important. And I think the algos will react to this level for sure. And we have seen it how it reacted. But since this has improved in terms of crypto price, DXY drop is improvement for crypto. That's how we interpret, right? Because it's inversely proportional in a way. So that's why this dip is very encouraging for crypto. Now, what we would like to see is to go down. Like I think we have another layout. Yeah. So I think this is a better representation than the previous one, where this attempt is still below this line, because this is the angle at which the consolidation is happening, not horizontally. So I think this is what we wanted to see. I think the because of the delay, we had to move this one on the right hand side, something like this, because of the, so we would like to see that it goes down, goes down, goes down, and this blue line is an average line. So when the DXY goes down like this, somehow it aligns with this blue path. So the blue path is this, started with a downside move and attempt, and within this attempt there was another attempt. But since this is kind of a child of this main, because this is still a smaller one, you can see this is subset of the major one. So this move is not a major one unless it closes above this. This is how it is interpreted. So this move is under this shadow. So that's why this is the attempt, breakout attempt, it failed. Of course, this is second attempt, but this is part of the same one. So we cannot say it's a success at this moment. And so if it goes down, then we can say that it is following the blue path. And then that would be wonderful. That would be really wonderful, right? The problem will be if, only if it settles over there, right? Where it let's say it does something like this, where it follows this purple path. Then we'll have challenges with the crypto price action for sure, right? I mean, historically speaking, when I say for sure, means probabilistically, not from certainty point of view, but we have seen it. Okay, so at this moment, this is not risk. That's the bottom line. That's the summary. 10-year is also rising. Now, this is a kind of a negative sign. Bond market indicating that there is no rate cut, and the it is trying to go back to the earlier level, because now this is not particularly risk, but it is what market is indicating that this was the level where the fund rate was highest. This was the level when market expected the fund rate will go down in 2024. And then it started climbing up, knowing that the rate cut is not happening. And this leg is up because The job market, US job market is hot, and last 2 months of inflation data, like Jan and Feb, are little higher on month over month basis. So that's why it started climbing up. What it is indicating that the Fed might not touch the interest rate. That's the thing. Now, some people said there are going to be two cuts, but because of the latest strong data. So if the labor market is strong, means if there are no job cuts and in fact there are more job opening, the Fed would not cut the fund rate because they don't see any recession risk, and that's what bond market is interpreting, right? So this is based on what I learned from economists. This is not my, I'm not an expert in uh, bond market or economics. I don't claim to be, but the chart is indicating that the what bond market is thinking. So I'm interpreting the chart rather than trying to be analyst on or economist on this subject, right? So the chart is indicating that the fund rate are likely to be the same, means current level, even for longer time. And that's why this bond yields are going to the level where the when the bond yields were, I mean, the fund rate was raised. So this is like it tried to come close to the 5%. Five right now the bond, the fund rate is over 5%. So this 10-year will try to come nearby. But the shorter term notes are closest to the fund rate. That's how it works. This is 10 years, so it is not as close as the fund rate, which is 5.25 and 5.5, that range. But this move is definitely indicating that because of the delay or potential delay from the Fed. So that's the interpretation. Now, of course, this is not happening. This is not happening. So maybe we'll have to check if it happens from here. Now, if the March inflation data are hot for some reason, let's say, reason could be anything, because the oil is also good. I mean, they don't consider oil and all the fuel price because they focus more on core. But in my point of view, even if you focus on core, this core energy price always indirectly affect. So I don't buy the argument that this energy price do not affect. I mean, they touch each and every segment of the commodity, in my point of view. So if even if Fed is focusing on the core inflation, which is non-food and non-energy related items, I believe that energy impacts everything. For an example, even let's say housing is part of the core. Now, how can we say that housing price is not affected by the energy price? It is, it does, because the amount of work that you need to do has some kind of energy price, some kind of. So starting from the raw material to make things, also you need energy. So I don't think energy can be excluded by any mean. So if even if they try to measure by excluding some of the items, I believe that in rise in energy price would indirectly cost each and every product that we use, because the energy is everywhere. So if the natural gas price is trying to go up, or the crude oil is going to go up, there's going to be impact no matter what. And of course, the war situation, everybody knows that that's always the thing. So that's why the bond yields are going up. And we're seeing the gold is going up. The crude has crossed $90 per barrel this week. So that is likely to put pressure, in my point of view. And if that is true, if that is evident, in that case, if the March inflation data goes up, then I think the situation will totally change. So I think this month is very important. So the eyes should be on the CPI number. And the CPI number, if it is hot, then I think the dollar index will shoot up. The bond yields are already going up quickly. And if the dollar index also goes up, then we'll see direct impact on uh, crypto price for sure. When I say for sure, means this is what we have observed. So I keep on saying for sure based on historical numbers. Anyway, so that is something to be seen. I don't believe in assuming things. I believe in what is happening. But when we discuss both the scenario, the rosy scenario and kind of a bearish scenario. And that's the best way to understand the situation. So we focus more on the present, focus more on the recent past, and we focus on the area where things could. So we basically identify potential risks and try to see if those risks trigger, or realized, how it may impact the price. So the discussion has to happen. um, we have to touch base those points, the risk areas. The earlier we talked about um, the the case, right? The case where the Craig lost. So that risk is no longer there, right? So when I say risk is not issue, right? You know that the risk is something that might potentially impact negatively. So in this case, we identify risk, but risk, if the risk is not realized, that risk has no impact. That's how it is. But it is important that we identify the risk and then we see what is the probability of the occurring. If the probability is near zero, I mean very low, then I think that risk has no potential impact, no major risk. So like we have to basically look at the probability and potential impact. These are the two important aspects of any risk assessment. So so that Craig related risk is not there. Now he's going to appeal and all. We don't know. That will take time. And as in when it happens, we'll see. So at least in my list, Craig related risk is no longer there. Now there is another associated risk, which is like if he has a lot of Bitcoin as he claims, but as you know, seeing is believing. I don't buy just by reading the post. I would like to see that it really happens. So if it happens, and if so that he threatened basically. So the fork is important. So when sorry, my bad. The halving is important. The halving date, because he's going to attack on halving date. So there are a lot of people thinking about a lot of scenarios. What I learned from some of the good ones, that, and also applying my own logic. The summary is this: if at all, so there are two possibilities. We can see that the BCH is going up. We can see that the BSV is not hasn't crashed. So after halving, the incentive for the BTC miners may not be that much. So it is possible that for time being, we don't know how long the BCH could continue pumping, could continue pump, and because more and more miners are joining BCH, and we have seen the more miners are also joining BSV. So we have to see if there is a reduction in hash power on BTC side after halving. Again, I'm not saying that will happen. This is an item to be tracked. As I mentioned, there are many things that we talk about. This is one of the things that we have to track, in my opinion. So during halving, we have to see, after halving, especially right after halving, we have to see if there is an impact on BTC hash power, if the miners go away. Many of you probably not aware that the same miners can mine any of these three chains, and there can be many more, but we talk about three main chains. So basically the hardwares remain the same. They have to just switch their whatever plug and the same GPU or same ASICs, the machines basically can mine BCH and BSV. So they can basically decide which coin to be mined, just to let you know. So the same rig can be used for all three. So some of the, because when I talked to some people, they were not aware. They thought all the hash power is BTC. They are dedicated. That's not true. The same hash power can shift. Okay. Um, technically speaking, technologically speaking. Um, so the scenario is if someone starts, like someone like Craig or someone start dumping as he is threatened. So scenario, hypothetical scenario for now, it's not something we know of. So in that case, if that happens, he can dump the BTC and bring down the BTC price and then attract more miners on BCH. We see that BC is also another candidate, and price has gone up significantly. So that is something we have to see. So again, this is something we have to see how it pans out. Okay, for now, I just wanted to convey and share what I thought. Okay, I'm not focusing more on the outcome. I'm focusing more on a potential event. So as and when the event occurs, what happens to the BTC and other two chains, that is something to be seen. But it's important that we note down this date and track what happens. Okay, we don't want to be ignorant of this potential event. Okay, so now we can go to our altcoin list. Starting with APT, we always go by alphabetical order. So so this was a major drop. Now, I think this is okay sort of drop. When I say okay means um, this is all-time high. So reaction at all-time high, it happens, but it is deeper than what I thought. But it's not crazy in a way that it is not that it broke RC and ruined all that it has gained so far. So it's not like that. But yeah, this is deep, probably the deepest after since it started rising. So that point of view, it is deep. So I think, but we can say this is a support for now. So the this week's low is a support. If it breaks, then I think we have to see. But for now, um, I'll just make it round 12.5. Let's say 12.5 can be important support. Okay. So it is deep, but it's not something that has ruined anything as far as the setup is concerned. But yeah, 12.5 can be the point of reference. Now the BSV is looking good, as you could see. It touched the 106 again, the R2 level. So it's basically it's trying to break over R2. Now the BSV is definitely not uh, giving up despite of all this drama that we have seen. So I'm very curious how it goes. So that's why I kept. In fact, I would like to bring in BCH. I think I mentioned last time that probably I can drop Matic. I don't know which can be dropped or but I'm really bored with Matic. And another reason is Doge and FIL is similar setup. So I'm just thinking that if I can drop Matic, um, but yeah, I think maybe on chatter you guys can suggest me. I'm fine to drop anything and bring in BCH. BCH is really doing good. I mean, you would like to see. In fact, we can look at the BCH right away. Let's look at BCH together. This is like just to let you know why I'm saying this, because I think it's doing something cool. Oh yeah, this is last time we had. Oh wow, look at this. So I think this was the coin we had in our list, but then we had added another one. So of course this didn't happen. That's why we had dashed line. Remember, this was the scenario. This was a scenario, and it did happen. So it took longer, little longer, but it happened. So of course this didn't happen. The retest zone was successful. This was pretty accurate. This is actually this was very accurate, and this was perfect in fact. And this has happened. So look at this. What is happening here? This is definitely bottom. This is second consolidation. This is minor consolidation. It's heading up with a great pace, right? I think this was the earlier one. Maybe I don't know. I have to validate, but I'll remove it for now because I have to recalculate. It is here, so definitely it is looking for. Oh, these are old ones. You know what? These are old ones. R6 and all that. From the last cycle, I think. Yeah. So this was all-time high. Remember all-time high? Let me just make sure. Yeah, all-time high was there. This was my bad. This was last bull run. So what I seen is there is a huge W shape, like this is a leg up, sorry, leg down, leg up, leg down, and this one. So you see that it is actually heading for 1,000 plus in a way, and potentially it could go toward all-time high. So this looks crazily bullish. Now people don't like BCH and BSU, I know. And I'm not, you know that I never favor any coin. But if the chart is like that, why anyone would ignore it just because one believe in BTC, right? I'm not a hater of BTC. I just highlight the deficiency of BTC from a technology point of view. Otherwise, I have no worry. Any coin that goes up, like for an example, I added Rune or some TIA. I had no clue what they're doing, but I like the price action, so I added. So likewise, I think we should have BCH and drop B Matic. But if you disagree, then let me know in chatter. But this is what I'm thinking. So at this moment, I'll just include the BCH coverage of, I mean, analysis where I'll say that BCH is here in this zone, right? Let's say, let me draw something just and again, I mean, you don't have to aim for it. This whole purpose is indicate this is here. So it wants to go up and then go for this level, which is pretty good. Which is pretty good. So maybe some time it may spend some time here. It is possible. So it's looking good. So I'm removing Matic because this is bored. This is boring to me. So I'm removing it. But if you really disagree, if many of you disagree, then I'll think. But this is the thing on motion. This is the BCH is on has momentum. So I think we it makes sense for us to have it. Okay. So we are adding back. So we have now all three flavors. We will see, right? We are see this is the we are really a diversified group in a way. We don't we have BTC, BSV, BCH, Doge. So all kind of of course we don't have XRP. Now XRP I'll add if there is anything major. So I have XRP in my watch list, but I had to see something like what BSV is doing or BCH is doing. So where there is momentum, I haven't seen it. So if I see, then maybe I'll bring XRP in and replace with something. We'll have to find out which one. But yeah, it has to do well better. So I'm not excluding XRP at all, right? But I had to see good price action for me to add in this list. So we have all sort of this is going to be interesting. This is going to be interesting. Okay, now Doge. So Doge is also improving. So this was a breakout. This is a retest. It happens sometime. It when it breaks out, it retests. So we call throwback in technical terms, and then it tries to go up. So it would be bad only if it breaks below 0.15. Then we can say it's no good. But this is not even nearby that level. So I think this is fine. And today it's up by 2.5%. So that's good. So we would like to see it moving up. Ethereum is stuck. I would say not in a negative way, but it's consolidating. Now Ethereum, to me, I have added just because it's number two coin and it has the largest ecosystem. People like it. Being a TA, I don't see any value add in this list simply because it is not outperforming BTC. Uh, that's the thing. And there are some other coins which are not outperforming, but there is a difference. For example, Doge has started moving up, so it is outperforming recently, and like that. So if the couple of coins which are just starting up will outperform BTC if they continue moving up like that. So that's why I would like to. I would say ETH has been hasn't been impressive in this cycle. Somehow it is a lagger, means it always used to actually lead, but this time it is not doing so. And I don't know what happens. As I mentioned earlier, something happened after POS when they moved to proof of stakes. Something happened. I don't care. I don't know. I mean, that's something fundamental analysts can figure out. But to me, it is way so BTC has broken all-time high, and consolidating all-time high. Ethereum is actually struggling. In fact, if you look at the prior bull run, Ethereum actually went up for longer than BTC. BTC started going down, but Ethereum went up. Not only here, um, or yeah, in a prior bull run also. If the For an example, in prior bull run in 2017, 28, the BTC started going down with a bear trend from here, not here, from December 17, this way. But the Ethereum went up for a month or so. So it did something different. It did something different here as well. But somehow in this one, it is a lagger, a big way. So that's why I personally don't think it's a good one from price action point of view. I mean, when I say good one, means it is not, it has to be better than BTC. I mean, my always argument is if it is not doing better than BTC, then what is the rationale behind having Ethereum? Why not BTC? Sorry, right? That's the argument. Um, Anyway, that is, but we're keeping it, but it's not very attractive. FET is about R3 consolidating, which is good. So this is consolidation phase like this one. I think we don't need all this. We can clear up. A Filecoin is struggling. So I think if XRP or any other coin does well, probably we can replace the Filecoin. So I'll give some more time. So the Filecoin, I'm keeping it because if this consolidation ends up with breakout like this, like Dogecoin, and if it speeds up, then I would like to see how it speeds up. And because this has a potential of, this is not a slow moving coin when it starts running, because as you could see, when it makes move, it make a big move. So when it breaks above, I would like to see how it does, right? But if it remains slow, or stuck in this consolidation, then I will see. Then I think it doesn't make sense to track it for longer time. For now, it makes sense. So FTM is following the pattern. It has come down, but this is not deep enough, as you could see, way above R3. Only if it enters in this box, then only I'm concerned from its price action point of view. This is not a concern at all. So FTM is totally fine. INJ, I'm not surprised because this is the time limit we have set for it. So this is going to very positive consolidation, like what it had here. It is doing something similar. So as I mentioned, I'm not surprised. So even if it is up by 3-4%, I don't care, because I would like it to go and break above, then I'm interested. So it is going through very positive consolidation. KAS is also going through positive consolidation. Now it is just about support. So if it closes below support one, I think then we can throw this coin out of the list. But at this moment, we don't need to. Link, link, this upside channel is I think the right way is probably to shift this one and represent like this. Something. So it's much more. Yeah, and this is, if it breaks below 14.5 or something, then I think that's bad. As simple as that. RNDR has touched R3. I mean, came close to this orange line. Remember, this orange belt, we kept it for a reason. It is like a retest of the all-time high. So I'm expecting, so likewise, so this is a potential upside move on from RNDR, right? So we had to wait for next week, I believe. Uh, okay, so this has broken below this one, but let's see how it goes. So it's slight touch. So today, tomorrow, it might, go up and come out like it did here, entered but not really broken. So I think this is not a concern. This was done, so we are good. But immediately coming down is because BTC's pressure, I would believe. But I would say, unless as long as it's above R3, we are fine. If it breaks below R3, then it's a point of concern. Below R2 is definitely no go. That is unacceptable. That is bad, right? That means it's a risk. So below R3 is warning, below R2 is risk. SOL, again, it's just above R8, which is totally fine, consolidating, very positive. So that's good. Nothing worrisome. TI is a little bit crazy. When I say crazy means, yeah, it is slightly below. I mean, it's an edge. Yeah, I mean, I would say a little bit of mm, it's a borderline case. This is the approximate method. The R2 to be washed out. Basically, if it closes below R2, then it's no good. So I think this is rounding top and then correction happened. But this is it is bad only if it closes below R2, I would say. So this is still good. If it does that, I will remove it, but I think it has to go up from here. It should go up at least, but yeah, with a condition, remember, with a condition that it must stay above R2. If this arrow is is invalidated if it breaks below R2. Okay, so that's a condition. With this note, I think I'll end, but feel free to ask me if there is anything. I think we touched base all the important areas today. So next week, hopefully, should be good because things are improving now. But yeah, I mean, this dollar index to be watched out for now because it's still on that warning level. So it has to continue going down, then there will be relief. If not, then the pressure will be on. And another thing that I mentioned, keep an eye on the halving thing. That is important. So, and you can see that how BCH and BSVs are behaving. So we have to keep eye on it. So, and I mean, from contingency point of view, from risk management point of view, those who are thinking that BSV is going to do something are crazy. BSCH is going to win the game are crazy. And those who are thinking that BTC is going to rule forever, they're also crazy. I think the smart people try to diversify. They always keep something major and then always keep something like this, which is trying to go up as well. Right. So no need to ignore one specific chain or stick to one specific chain in my point of view. Smart people try to diversify. So there are people who just buy Ethereum. They are also kind of risk prone and buy just BTC. They are also so buying just one coin is always risky. So you have to think. I mean, I would think from different platform point of view. Smart contract platform. Let's say one have a good utility coin we should have, and then couple of main chain, L1 chain especially, proof of work related chain, because proof of stakes is always under pressure sometimes. So proof of work related chain has to be with us and so on. So I would think this in on this line, right? A couple of good utility coin, couple of some L1 chain, and then proof of work coins. So when you think from this point of view, then portfolio is quite balanced in a way. Uh, so percentage point of view and also from domain use case point of view. So this is how I would think. This is how I would think. Anyway, we'll be in touch. Bye for now. Thanks everyone.